Oh my God, thank you guys for staying this late. I don't know if this is off color, but the crowd looks like Palestine in here after all these bombs dropped, am I right? All right, I'm done punching down. Can I get kind of like emotional and vulnerable with you guys for a second? It involves me kind of sharing a story about who I am and who I'm accepting about myself, if you guys will have me. All right, thank you guys. This means a lot. So, I'll keep it brief, but because I know I'm like the one that's separating you from bedtime, but it is important to me. This part of my identity, like this is who I am, and it's like, as you guys know, Wyoming, we're a very red state, and like lots of people don't like embrace, and so like when I was embracing my identity, it was very tough. Thankfully though, my friends like were there for me and like were very accepting. My mom, she was kind of like iffy, but she told me like, it's your dad that you have to worry about, which like, you know how this goes. And so when I got back from college and moved back to Wyoming, I was like terrified to have this conversation with my dad. And I was at his house one day and I told him like, hey Dad, I need to talk to you. And he said, son, I'm getting ready for work, can you keep it quick? And I was like, no Dad, this is very important to me. I've been bottling this up my entire life and I just need to tell you. And he said, fuck, what is it, son? And in his eyes, I could see the look of every football fan's eyes when their team is down by 2 in the fourth quarter, but the other team has a fucking massive ground game and they're just chewing the clock. And they're just waiting for an impending loss. I saw the look of every Bills fan in January on my dad's face. And he's like, just spit it out, Devin. And I said, Dad, I don't know how to tell you this, but this is who I've always been. Dad, I'm a liberal. And my dad, he was like, God damn it, Devin, no you're not, you're just confused. I said, Dad, this is who I am. He's like, no, you're just going through a phase. When I was your age, I too dabbled in soy milk. I said, Dad, it's like you don't even know me. And my dad at that point, he was like, I'm just fucking with you, son. I always knew you were a big pussy. No, so it's funny, at work I'll tell people I do stand-up and they're like, oh my God, that takes guts to do that. I could never do that. And the same people that tell me that are the same people that will like interrupt in meetings or like hold the fort or like, yell at people and make them cry. Like to me, that takes like the most guts. This is just me emotionally dumping, And like meanwhile, if I go into a meeting, I'll start crying, It doesn't make sense to me, but like with work, does anyone else experience this feeling of like every day you show up to work, you're just waiting for an intervention in your office of like all the big wigs to like just corner you and be like, Devin, you suck at your job, you fucking bitch. Like anyone have that feeling? Hey, hell yeah, that's 2 of us, sister. I guess they call that imposter syndrome. And like, sometimes people will tell me they have imposter syndrome, and sometimes I want to tell them like, maybe you just suck at your job. All that aside, I'm like trying to work on that though, because it's not healthy to have that in your brain. And so I've been doing lots of exposure therapy, and I found that getting an audio file, thankfully I have this audio file that I just put headphones on. So if you ever see me listening to headphones, it's just a guy for an hour straight just going, Devin, you pussy, you bitch, you're never gonna amount to anything. And the best part about it though, with this exposure therapy, is that service is completely free because it's just a voicemail from my dad. I'm glad you guys like that. So like through exposure therapy though, I felt myself like become more confident and, not to get too intimate, but like my ladies always tell me to like, speak up when we're doing the act of coitus. And, the last time we did it, midway through, I hit her with some really compelling speech because I know she reads the smut novels, she watches Bridgerton, and I can never match that language. So I had to speak my language loud in bed, the language that I know best. Midway through doing the act of sex, mid-thrust, I just hit her with the, I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. You guys will... And it blew her away, because by the end of the night, when she came to completion through an inanimate object, she was like, 800-588-2300 Empire Today. I've been fearing telling those jokes all week. Pivoting away from that, my girlfriend, she loves reality TV, and, us guys in here, we fucking hate that shit because it's like scripted and fake, and like, why would you want to watch TV shows where it's like, oh my God, Courtney was being such a bitch today? But then like the next second, I'm watching NFL headline news, and I'm like, oh my God, did you see Kyler Murray unfollowed the Cardinals? Did you see the Ravens told Max Crosby he didn't want him? Or like when I'm watching the Broncos drive down the field, I start kind of like panning my face. I'm like, Bo Nix, he's cool. And then he throws an interception. I'm like, stop it, Bo, you're being bad. Some weird paradoxes. Oh, the punchline there is that I'm bisexual, I guess. Some more things going on, not to talk politics, but I do miss when our senators didn't act, or like all politicians didn't act like social media influencers, There's that weird boy named Reed that's like copying Donnie T's dance moves and like somehow has 15,000 followers on Facebook that he bought. I miss when our state representatives were honest and would actually just walk like normal representatives, They would just walk with that business casual of like, good evening. But now this is how our state representatives walk. You guys know who I'm talking about, the guy that got a DUI in Buffalo? 2 Michelob Ultras open in his car. And he used the ultimate Gen Z white girl defense, which was he drinks and drives because he has anxiety, which I love because lots of our legislation loves to deny that mental health exists or mental illnesses exist. And it's like, you should take your own advice and fucking man up, dude. Now, some politics, I've been seeing lots of Cybertrucks circulating in Casper, like the crumble cookies. There's that like Temu Batmobile that drives around dressed up as a Cybertruck. I won't say anything political about Elon Musk's bitch ass, but I will say this. Guys that drive Cybertrucks definitely arched their backs when they got spanked as a kid. All right, so the last joke that's separating you guys from bedtime is, St. Patrick's Day is next week, and I fucking love St. Patrick's Day because you don't really have to buy anything except like optional corned beef, and it's just a holiday that's rooted in fear because, growing up in like elementary and middle school, what would happen if you didn't wear green?
Pinchy.
Exactly, you'd get pinched, or pinchy. And where I grew up, if you wore red on St. Patrick's Day, there'd be those weirdos that went up and kissed you. Fuck, I miss being homeschooled. All right, hey, you guys have been great. Thank you so much for sticking around.